This is a short movie to demonstrate how we've been putting OpenLearn badges on our blockchain. Here you can see there are 10 courses that currently have badges. Let's select one of them. So this lists all the students that have earned this badge, English Skills for Learning. So there are 637 badges that have been issued on this course. And here we can see all the students that got them. And there are two things we can do. We can view the blockchain data, or we can download the badge. So here you see that each person, there is their name, the date the badge was issued, and the badge assertion contract address on our blockchain. So if we view one of these badges, we go to this page, and here you can feed in a badge assertion address, and it will pull out all the different contracts that are involved in that badge. So there's the assertion itself, and it has an address, it has an owner, which is the Open University's account. It has a pointer to the badge address, a pointer to the recipient of this badge, and the evidence for the badge. So here is the recipient contract. It has an address, it has an owner, and at the moment that account number is a single account to represent all students, but in the future you could imagine this would actually be an individual address for a student. Here it has the identity that is currently used on the badges, which is a SHA of their email address. So that data is replicated in the contract. Here is the badge itself. So there is a badge for each course, and it has an address, an owner, a name, a description, and the image, and it has the issuer contract address. It also has criteria and alignment contract pointers. These aren't currently used, but we know that the Open Badger specification has criteria and alignment for badges, and you can imagine a scenario that these would be used in. So we've created holding contracts for that information for now. So this is the issuer. All badges would have the same issuer, and that is the address, the owner, again the Open University's account, a name, a description, an image, an email, and a URL. The evidence for a particular badge assertion currently is just a link to a web page on the Open University website showing that the person completed the course, but you can imagine in the future this could be replaced with a more sort of e-portfolio scenario where there will be links to lots of pieces of coursework that they completed, for example. And there we have the two holding contracts for criteria and alignment. So here you can see the same data that would currently be available through the JSON of the Open Badge, but represented in contracts on the blockchain. If we go back, the other thing we've put here is a downloadable badge. So in this scenario, we've replaced the JSON that would be in the current downloadable badges given by the Open University with a future imagined piece of JSON that will represent the information on the blockchain. So if you click that, you currently just get a badge, which you can then right-click on and download. But embedded in that badge is a piece of JSON. So let's look at that now. So here's an example of a sort of JSON that we've embedded in those images. Currently, the Open Badges specification has a method parameter, and it only has domain. So here we've imagined a new method option of blockchain. And the current one also has an assertion URL, which we here have put as a URL to that blue page with all the broken down contracts, and a timestamp. And we've added an imagined scenario where we've added these. So in the future, you can imagine a situation where there are lots of different blockchains running, public, private, managed, and there would have to be some sort of domain name, similar domain name addressing system, some sort of registration system where you could register your blockchain. So we imagine the sort of pieces of information that would have to be in that registry. So we've given it a name, we've said the type of blockchain that it is, we've said the type of access it has. So in this case, we're imagining a managed blockchain based on Ethereum software. And then you can imagine that you could publish one or more entry server addresses. So if somebody just wanted to go and read the data off, they wouldn't need to set up their own node. They could pull it from one of these servers. So here we would imagine two different entry blockchain nodes that have been added. And then here is the actual assertion address on the blockchain. So that's the number you would need to pull out the assertion and then all the subsequent related data for that badge assertion. So in this way, we've imagined if you were doing open badges on a blockchain in the future, you'd need some block of JSON like that embedded into the image when you gave them to the students for them to be able to then go back and verify that badge afterwards. So that's our current scenario.